Are you looking to buy your first home in Houston, but not sure where to start? Buying your first home is very exciting, but also complex and sometimes leads to a lot of questions. But hopefully today we can kind of help mitigate those in today's video. Hi, I'm Zach Serritella with Exp Realty. I'm here to guide you through the process of buying your first home in Houston, from budgeting to sealing the deal. I'll share essential tips to make your journey as smooth as possible. If you'd like to... One of the first things we'll talk about today is budget, and this is usually where everyone starts and really should start, because it's really just not about the price of the house when you first buy it. It's also the additional costs that usually people don't think about, which is the closing cost fees, the property taxes, the possible renovations if they find something in the inspection. That usually goes back and forth between the buyer and seller who pays for it, but you gotta be prepared for it. And if you're investing, you gotta look at houses in the area and see how much they're actually renting for. And it's actually gonna be a cash flowing property. I've heard stories of people saying, oh, it's gonna work in 3 years, and then end up not even having the house in 3 years because they stretch themselves so thin up in the beginning. So you really gotta run your numbers and make sure you account for these fees, account for the unforeseen fees. And the best way to do that is budgeting and having an emergency fund. The next part of this is obviously making sure you have the funds. The next step is pre-approval process. So this is getting with your lender and actually making sure that the property values that you're currently looking at are actually something that you can pay for. This helps actually real estate agents such as myself to make sure that with the properties that we're showing you are actually properties you are able to attain. We don't want to be showing you a $500,000 house. So we want to make sure that we give you and show you properties that you're actually looking for and actually can afford. Key point number 3 we'll talk about today is choosing the right neighborhood. We said it before is location, location, location. Same thing applies here. What is the proximity to work? What are the quality of the schools? What are the local amenities? What's the neighborhood potential of future growth? I live here over in Baytown right now, but there's a place right next door is Mount Bellevue, Texas. The amount of amenities, the schools, all that stuff is blowing up. Stuff like that, you can go on the Mount Bellevue website and see their master plan. It is absolutely amazing. So stuff like that, anyone could look into, and I highly encourage you to look into when you're deciding to buy a house, because that's when you buy a house, you want appreciation. You want, especially the investment, you want some people to high, have a low vacancy rate and a high cash flowing area. When you have places that are booming, it helps on either way you're looking at it. Either you're gonna live in the house or investing. Key point number 4 when you're buying a house is home inspection and appraisal. This is super key when you're trying to invest in a house or just live in a house. Is you want to know, really, is there anything wrong with the house? What are the potential, is there potential foundation issues? Are there cracks in the walls? Are there bugs? Are there termites? Are there, any different which way kind of looking at it? Figuring out the wiring, how old, looking at the AC unit, the hot water heater. All that stuff is pretty much captured in the inspection. And really when you're going to buy a house, most government funded kind of loans like FHA, VA, sometimes really need you to do an appraisal just to make sure that what you're actually buying is up to that actual purchase price. So this actually kind of also gauges right when you sign that line, the dotted line, after you put your down payment down, you kind of understand where you're starting in that equity phase. So if you have a $250,000 house and you put $10,000 down, you're at 240, but really at the appraisal is 260, but you bought it at 250 and you put $10,000 down, you're looking at 20,000 equity as you sign that dotted line. That is amazing. That's what investors want. That's what people want. That's huge. That helps down the line anything in a potential downturn. No 2008, but just a potential one. So the last tip I'll leave you here today with is negotiating and closing the deal. We want to be master negotiators when we're doing this offer letter. So when we're doing this, we want to make sure that, when you buy your house, which is the ultimate goal, at the end, we want to make sure you get the keys. We want to make sure you have some money left over. So whether that be seller concessions to kind of, help you get the purchase, or maybe it's buying down the interest rates to kind of help you on your monthly payments, whatever it may be, we want to make sure that whatever the offer is that you're 100% comfortable with, and once it's accepted, it's very, very quick. There's a bunch of paperwork and a lot of legal steps. So especially with this competitive market that could be coming in the late 2024, early 2025, whenever the interest rates come down, I know there's a bunch of people waiting on the sidelines to buy. So once those rates do come down, it will be a very hot market. We'll have to move quickly. We'll have to make sure that the offers are ready to go. So when you're working with me, we'll make sure this process is quick and easy and smooth as possible. So buying your first house is a huge milestone. It should absolutely be celebrated. It should be a super exciting time in your life. As it might be daunting with proper preparation and some of the tips and just being aware of what goes into a buying process, will make you a confident buyer. So if you need help navigating Houston real estate market, reach out to me. In my description, we'll have a bunch of my information. So just always remember, from the drawing table to the closing table, let's engineer your success in real estate.